I'm really excited about our speaker tonight. I heard her recently at a family history workshop, all-day workshop, and she really knows her stuff. And I've been bragging to you all for a while. You know, people had been telling me about Family Search Wikis, and I just would hear it and think, yeah, I'll get around to that someday. Well, I finally sat down, and when I started using them, it was like I had a secretary, an assistant next to me. You know, it just makes your research so much easier. And you've got to know a little bit about FamilySearch.org, but I think we've all probably been using it. So this is fantastic. Lynell is a 6th generation Dallasite. Her family has been in Dallas County for a long time. And we were talking, and one of her ancestors is Hiram Bennett from the Mesquite area, and Mesquite named a DRT chapter after him. He definitely was here while Texas was in the Republic. So deep roots. She has been researching her family for a very long time and helping other families since 1968. She has been in a leadership position with the Plano Family History Center for 24 years and is the director of the Great Family Search Conference. And she really knows FamilySearch.org. So please give a big welcome to she and her husband, Fred. They've come all the way from Plano tonight and braved the traffic. So give them a big, big hand.
Can you hear me? Yeah, I have to get it up close. My computer's back there, so I have to come up here to be able to see this. So, how many of you have used the Family Search Wiki? Okay. How many of you have been a brave button pusher in the Wiki? Yeah. Okay. 1, 2. Okay. Well, yeah. Okay. Let's see. We can make this go. Okay, now let me go back here. Wiki is a Hawaiian word meaning quick. And in Hawaii, in Honolulu, if you get to the airport and you take the shuttle, it's the Wiki Wiki bus. And in Hawaii, when they repeat a word, it means really fast. So now we'll go for it. So Wiki is now a software. It lets anyone who is registered edit it. When the Wiki first got started, I really worked on Dallas and added a lot to Dallas. But you can collaboratively correct if you put in something wrong. You'll be told about it. It'll be corrected really quickly. So, but you can edit. You will have to be registered with Family Search to be able to do so. And I hope you're all registered because it's a, what's that magic 4-letter word, free website. Okay, now where you find it, there's actually 2 places. You can go to Help up there in the upper corner and pull down. You can reach the Wiki there. Or you can go to the Research Wiki under Search. Now, one thing I learned, this, if I can, this is where you normally enter where you want to search. But if you use this search up here, it auto-completes for you. If you want to search a county, you can't just put in Dallas, Texas. You must put in Dallas County, Texas. But if you put in Dallas County, it will start auto-completing for all of the states that are there and give you options. Okay, so now, right down here, guided research. This is to help you find vital records and prioritized online databases. It will take you to those. And this is, when you click on it, this is what you get. And the green areas where the guided research is available. They're working on the gray areas, but they're not there yet. So now right up here, I've forgotten what it says. oh, what is guided research? And when you click on that, it will, well, okay. If you click on that, it will walk you through what it is. I'm going to click on Texas, because after all, that's where we are. And here's birth, marriage, or death. You click on the one that you're interested in. And here's some things there. And down here, what else you can try, additional online resources. But if we click Texas Birth Collections, let me see if I can get this one, Texas Birth Collections there, then this is what you get. This is blank over here. It just has Texas. It has type of birth records down here at the bottom checked. Then you can enter your name up here and a time period, and it will go from there. Yeah, I told you about that. Okay, if I can get it to go forward. Okay, now it's on records right now. And then there's collections. And if we go to the collections, this will tell you the collections that it has the names taken from. These are all indexed records. If you look up at the top, indexing, you can go in and help index records to make them more readily available. Okay, let's go forward. There we go. Now, then there's marriage records. We clicked on birth. Now we clicked on marriage. Death is, and this works the same way as the birth records does. Death is down here. And then here you see what the marriages records that it's working from are. And went too fast. Then here's the death records, and you can see what that works from. Okay. Now let's go back here and let's look at this side panel. Wiki, about us. And this is one place that you can start to learn about the Wiki. Wiki tools. I gotta be careful with that. Wiki tools. You can be notified of changes. You can say that you want to be notified about changes in a certain location or a type of record or whatever that you're interested in, and they will email you and let you know when a change has been made. Online genealogy records. This is a really, really wonderful one. And this is, here's the United States. This is broken down. You can click and go straight to, but I'm going to scroll down for you to see the United States. All of the states are in here. Online genealogy records by record type is here. Then we have Africa, Australia, New Zealand, Pacific, Oceania, British Isles, and all of the counties. Europe online, Caribbean online at the top, Mexico, Middle East, and then Canada, Oceania, and South America. Now, I'm going to go and I'm going to click on Texas. And I want you to see what we have in Texas. For one thing, did I go, it looks like, yes, I skipped one. Right over here are land records. How many of you have people that settled in early Texas? Did they get land grants? Yes. Did you know that you can go there and you can get a copy of their land grant in a PDF? That's very handy. Here's Texas birth certificates, marriages, websites. It notifies you if they cost. Here. Some are free, some are index only. And then I'm just scrolling down to all of the things that are included in Texas. And that's about to the bottom of it. So there are a lot of links. Many of them are free. And if you belong to some of the places that charge money for it, then you're going to be able to access it there too. Okay, now let's browse all Wiki content. So here we go, and this is starts out alphabetical. Access by location, and here are subcategories in here. United States and subcategories. Now, you can go to specific states and locations and just look there. Whoops. Look at there. There I blew up. Beginning research, archives and libraries, census, colonial period, on down. That there's a lot of information in there for you. Now, subcategories, birth, marriages, divorces, on down. Resources for individual help. This is one of my favorites. Family History Centers, and this is the one I work in. Now, research resources. Okay, research tools, beginning genealogy, start your family history, organize your genealogy, on down, research tools, research outlines, research forms, census records, using the Wiki in family history centers, but you can use it at home just as well. Now, let's go to research. Well, we're going to click there, then we're going to go down. Research outlines. Down here, England, Ireland, Scotland, bunches of locations telling you what you need to know about that location to start research. Now, I will tell you, I belonged to Dallas Genealogical Society, in a newsletter years ago. They had a title on an article, New Location, You're a Beginner Again. And if you don't research on your location before you start trying to research, then you're going to spin your wheels. So here we have outlines, and here's one for England that's only 285 pages. I will tell you the German one is 300 and something, the Irish one is 400 or 500 and something, and United States is 185. But there's also military, and there are different outlines for different types. Now this is research forms, and there's all sorts of US, Canada, England census forms. Now when you're reading some of those 1790 to 1840 census, you know what's at the top of those columns. But if you've got a form in front of you, then you can count across and you know what you're looking at. And research forms. Okay, it goes on and on. These are on there, and down here we have the agriculture, industrial, and manufacturers, mortality censuses, and it keeps going down. More up here. And then we get to archives.com, and that's a charge, and ancestry.com. And I think those up above, if I can get it to go up, no, we didn't get it there. Okay. Well, this is National Archives and Record Administration forms here. Family Search is first, and then it goes to National Archives, and then it goes to these other forms. Family Tree Magazine, Cindy's List, just all sorts of things in there. Okay, more forms. Okay, edit the wiki. You need some instructions for edit the wiki. And there we go. Family Search contributing to the wiki, report a problem, share your knowledge. This gives you information that you'll need to know before actually contributing. Okay, Family Search on down. Now, search record types. If you haven't searched probate records, there are different types of probate records. If you haven't searched probate records in a specific state, what are you going to call it? Because it has different names in different states. So here I've put in land records, but you want to specify the location for these types of records. So I changed it and put in United States land records. And then we've got all sorts of sites for information. Whoops, went too fast. Browse by country. And yes, here you've got all the countries where you can find out about their records. Getting started here. United States, I'm going to scroll down. This is United States genealogy. And you've got stuff. I'm going to scroll down. The map is clickable. It will take you to a state, or you can click on a state here. Then I'm going way too fast, I think. Okay, Hawkins County, Tennessee. I've got several families in Hawkins County. So I was interested in Hawkins to see what I could find. Here you have hyperlinks that you can go to the one that you're really interested in, or you can just scroll down. Now up here at the top, you know when the record started. Then you have the county archives, the county clerk, the county register of deeds, and the circuit court clerk. If you want to go there or check their records, it's a good thing to find out where they are. History of it down here, we're going to scroll down a little bit here. Up here we have when it was organized, who it was organized from. We have county. How do you pronounce Hawkins County in both a female and a male voice? Some of these counties are not pronounced like they're spelled. M-A-U-R-Y, county in Tennessee, is not Maury, it's Murray. H-E-N-R-I-C-O is not Henrico, it's Henrico, it's not Henrico. And there are lots of counties. The one that really blew me was B-O-T-E-T-O-U-R-T. Is not pronounced like it's spelled. It's pronounced Batatat. So, boundary changes. There is a county boundary map rotating. We're going to go there. I'm going to scroll down. This is what it looked like in 1777. Next, whoops, went too fast there. There's 1821. And boy, this either is slow or really fast. And there's 1858. You've got all of these years in between here, and then you've got the Tennessee county abbreviations at the bottom. And as you scroll down, you can see those things. Every state has a rotating county boundary map. Well, now, record loss. In Hawkins, they had a record loss. So what do? They tell you, they give you some information to go to find out how to get around it as much as possible. Places and locations within Tennessee, well, within Hawkins County, the towns. If I can go slow, there we go. Then resources, getting started, research guides, African American Bible records, cemeteries, and it goes on down to have 28 screens of localized family information. Okay, Rowan County, North Carolina, 31 screens. Henrico County, Virginia, 17 screens of data. And in Henrico, they have compiled genealogies. Many counties do. And in Henrico, they have 33 screens of family histories. And in there, it tells you, I picked just a few, but it tells you where you can get to it. Some of them charge, and some of them are free. I have downloaded books from Family Search if they're out of copyright. If you go to books, under that same search button where you find Family Search Wiki, you can put in your family surname, and even if it's in copyright, you can get a little snippet around where that name appears in the book. So it's very handy. Okay. Now, this is a book, Branchiana, one of those books. It's on Family Search. It's out of copyright. And it's a little complicated how to download it if you want to download it. So here down at the bottom, it says view all 189 pages. If you click that or click the book image, this bar will come across the bottom. And right here is a download button. Over here is a search button that you can put them in the little screens across. But you can change the black and white. You can do other things with it. But if you download it, if you click the download button, then you're going to get this screen, and you download that. When you download it, it's not going to say the name of the book. It's going to say what's in there, the FL. And you click that, then you get your download. And see, here's the title right here, just like it had up there. So look for that and then write in the name of the book, or it will make no sense to you at all. Okay, that's what it's going to show. Now, England genealogy. There is an England clickable map that is functioning now better than it was, but you can search for a parish in England. I don't know that it's working now. I didn't have time to check it today. But you can put in your parish number. Hopefully it will take you to resources for that county. It will tell you when that county, that parish's record started. There is definitely working now where you can click and you can give it a half-mile to 10-mile radius, and it will tell you the parishes that are within that radius. So this is if you've got English people, this is a really helpful tool. It's 1851, but that goes with some variation. Warwickshire, England, and there's Warwickshire parishes dated listed by parish. That you can click on the parish and go to it. Okay, now England jurisdictions, and that's the same map, and it tells you that it's not functioning. Well, it is now. At least part of it is functioning. Now, I am through, but I want you to be a fearless button pusher. You are not going to break your computer. You are not going to break the internet, and you're going to be very happy. There is one other thing I do want to tell you about. If in that little search button you put Family History Library, they have webinars, and they will give you, you can print out the schedule for a month of what is available. Some of the webinars are available only or some of the classes are available only in person, but the webinars are available online. You have to register for it, but big deal. And there are some early American research, there's Chinese research, there's Polish research, there's church records research, and there is a class that shows up frequently on using the Family Search Catalog. And breaking the code on using the Family Search Catalog and Family Search Wiki are really good classes to take. There are many in there that go look at this month, next month, and see what's available for you. But you click on Family Search Library and then you scroll down to their class schedule. And I didn't think about it until you were talking about this American research, and I should have put that in there. So now we have and whoa, then it went right past it. Questions. I would love to go online, but my computer's up there.
Oh, we might. Let's see how many questions are right here. I have a question. A few years ago, there was a lot said about taking the microfilm out of the family history centers. I mean, like, I know a lot of the little states, they all had a collection of their own microfilm that they had accumulated, but all of that went back.
No.
You kept it?
We kept it. As a matter of fact, when they announced, was that last year before last, that they were not going to mail microfilm anymore.
They weren't going to send it out.
You could order until the deadline, and none of it went back. It didn't have a return date. So there were a lot of people that ordered a lot. They are working, and they are digitizing 1,000 rolls of film per day.
Wow.
Now, and they are putting it online. Now, they have to get permission, just like they got permission in the first place to microfilm it and ship it to Family History Centers. They have to redo it. Now, some of them are letting them let you see it at home. Texas is not one of them. Virginia is not one. North and South Carolina, you can look at everything at home. Louisiana, you used to, and you can't anymore. Alabama, you can look at home. People that I have in southeast Pennsylvania, I can see at home. Delaware, I can see at home. That check your state. If when you go into the catalog and you go into marriage records, and it says, you can see this, click here. Don't click there, scroll down and look at the film listings, just like you used to do before. And if it has a camera on the side, then you can look at it at home. If it has a camera with a key on top of it, you have to go to the Family History Center or an affiliated library. Suzanne, are you up there?
Yeah, we are an affiliate library. They have to redo the contract. When they signed the contract for the affiliate library, it was years ago, and it was for the microfilm lending program. So when my boss Linda contacted them, they said they would need kind of an addendum, an updated contract to allow for the digital rights, and that's what they're working on. Linda said though, and I guess it has to go through our legal here and all of that, so I think that could I don't know when that'll be ready, but like, I don't think before 6-9 months.
Okay.
But that was something that Linda was in discussion with them, and it doesn't require a new contract, it requires like an updated addendum to the contract, and that's what they're working on.
Okay. Yeah.
But yes, we do hope to have all of that so you can see,
Okay.
and that was the benefit, is gaining
Yes.
all of that digital
Right.
access.
When that key is there, then you have to go to an affiliated library or to the Family History Center to look at it. Many of them you can look at home, depending on your state. Tennessee, no, you have to go to the Family History Center to look at.
And you said Texas, no?
Texas, the things I've looked at in Texas, in Dallas, I have to go, well, it depends on the record. I can look at probates at home. Divorces, I have to go to the Family History Center to look at. So, and I've got a few divorces in my family, so old divorces. So it depends on the record, it depends on where. Some church records I found in Virginia you can look at home. But you just have to go and look. Now if there's a microfilm reel there, then you go to Salt Lake to look at, or wait for it to be digitized. They do allow you, if you're really desperate for something, you can make up to 5 requests, film requests, to be digitized. And I've been really leery of having only 5, so I haven't requested any. But there are many, many books online. Last time I looked, there were over 375,000 books online. And when I was at NGS, I was told that they had 90,000 more digitized that they were working at getting online. So there's lots of good things coming, and all of Family Search, and the Wiki is really good. Now, do we have any other questions, Family Search or Wiki or whatever? And speak up, because I'm not that good at hearing.
Okay, you can hear me?
Yep.
Okay. When I'm looking for certain records, like say probate,
Right.
and a lot of times you'll see a list of probate in a certain county for a certain time period. And then you go to that and it's not indexed. And one of the reasons I'm looking for it is to look for dates. And so do you have any clue on how to do that?
Okay.
And also, are they working on indexing those that are not indexed?
That will come eventually, but what you do is go to, if you know the time period they died, and you can see the book that falls into that time period, go to the front of the book where it's indexed.
Yeah, but sometimes they're not. That's what I mean.
Oh, are you sure that they had a will?
No, a lot of them didn't have wills, but
Okay.
they still have probate.
Only if they had enough property that it had to be probated. You might find it in administration. If they didn't have a will, it would come out in administrations.
Okay.
And I happen to have been in my early days of research in Rutherford County, North Carolina, and I was looking in wills, and one of the clerks says, well, have you checked administrations? Come, let me take you. And there it was, in administrations. So check administrations, another question if you ask.
The information on Family Search and also Family Search Wiki, will they save to a tree that you already have, or do you have to print it out and put that information in?
No, you have to add it to the Wiki.
So you have to add it to your family tree that you already
Oh,
have
now
established?
family tree is a different thing from the Wiki.
I know, but one won't talk to the other.
No,
Okay.
no, they don't talk to each other. They're two separate databases.
Okay.
So, people have asked me many times, I have an ancestry family tree. Can I transfer that over to Family Search? No. One name at a time, unfortunately.
It won't transfer a JEDCOM?
It will not accept JEDCOMs. It did in the early days, but not anymore. So when they quit doing pedigree resource file, the pedigree resource file is now a part of the tree, but when they quit, and you could submit a JEDCOM to pedigree resource file, and you can't do that anymore. That's a dead program. So, any other questions?
Just to follow up, so you mentioned some states you can access this, but that's through the Wiki?
No, that's through the catalog.
Oh, okay. Because in the Wiki, I have come across things like under probate records or something, or maybe it's taking you to the catalog, I don't know. But, you know, the Wiki will say, go here and click. It's a
Right.
hyperlink, you click on it.
That's right.
And I have gone to, I think some were wills in Georgia, and to your question, like sometimes it'll send you to the index page, and Ancestry will do that sometimes. It'll send you to an index page. If you don't really, you need to, like you said, don't be afraid of pushing buttons, just keep looking, because sometimes people stop at that index page, but you have to play that little math game where you skip over and skip over and skip over a few pages down and see if you can find in that roll of microfilm or in that digitization of that roll of microfilm where they're corresponding that index page number over into the will book. And a lot of times on Ancestry and in Wikis, you can get right over to the actual
That's right.
filmed document of that. And I uncovered a really great
And thank you for bringing that up. Yes, you get in there and you can click, and like the books will take you directly to the book that you're looking for.
Skip around.
If it's on Family Search.
But my assumption was that all this digitization project was going into, well, of course your catalog, but I thought it was going into the wikis too. Is that not correct? Or
No, the digitization is not going into the wiki.
Oh,
That's
shoot.
catalog. That's catalog. Now, those genealogies,
Yeah,
that is straight out of the catalog too, or books. But the books that are in the catalog, it functions the same way as finding it in the wiki. And there are, now I showed you Henrico. Henrico is not the only county with genealogies. Hawkins County, Tennessee had genealogies too. And there are lots of other counties that if you use that upper link that I showed you in the upper corner, that upper search screen, it will auto-complete. And if you put in your county, then it will tell you, do you want genealogy or do you want the other genealogy, and then there's digitized genealogies, whatever the name was. I have to go back to the beginning. Here, no, back further, back, yeah. Family histories, only they called it compiled genealogies. There's Henrico County genealogy, and there's Henrico County, Virginia compiled genealogies, and that compiled is book. Go search for your county and see if you have them. Now, some counties are not as well developed as others. So you need to, if you know about the county, add to it, contribute, and add. But there are cemeteries in there. When it first got started, I went through and found every digitized online listing of cemetery in Dallas County. And when they got a little further up, they eliminated what I had submitted, and I spent days on that. That was a little frustrated, but there's lots in there. And some of the most important things in there, oh, there's one thing I didn't put in. There's rookie mistakes. And there are, if I remember correctly, 17 rookie mistakes you shouldn't make. And when you click on each, oops, that's me. I fall into that category. You can click on it and it will tell you how to get out of it and what's wrong with it. One of those is, and I cannot tell you how many times I've heard this in the Family History Center, oh, that's not my family, that's not the way we spell the name. Yeah, well, your family wasn't spelling the name in the record. And how many, I can't tell you how many times I found names misspelled because they typoed it, or they was misread, or whatever. And some of the handwriting, when we're indexing those records, some of that handwriting is so bad. Well, I have a relative named Wade. His name was, it was written badly. It was indexed as U-R-S-A-L-E. The only name I got it because the middle initial was H and the last name was Bennett. So I thought, right age, right wife, okay, it's got to be, yeah, that's him. And I have found the name Stevens indexed as Kennan. It's the way it was written, and people didn't know, and they took their best guess. So, but any more questions? I wish I could bring my computer down here and walk you through some of these things.
We wouldn't mind if you went up there. And can I ask you something, if you want to walk up there? Our speaker last month was talking about FamilySearch.org, and he mentioned something in the trees, that there's a facial recognition thing for photographs. Do you know anything about
Oh, yes.
You
It's fun.
Tell us about that real quick.
Yes, I'd love to. Yes, please. I couldn't get it to work. Now, I'm like you. I'm slow going up and down these steps.
We appreciate you being slow. We don't want any accidents.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. Now, you have to be on Family Search. You have to have your tree in Family Tree, and you have to have put in family pictures for this to work. So,
You're not online with me
I know.
yet.
I hope I don't.
You want to come out of your PowerPoint?
Yeah, I want to come out of the PowerPoint. Let's see. I'll have to escape first. Get. Oh, this isn't a touch screen. Okay.
A little bit more to the right.
Well, not quite.
Might as well look at you.
My arms are not long enough here.
Well. There we go. Okay. Now.
All right. Now let me swing this back around so you can see what she's looking at.
Take care of it.
I'm going down my list of things.
Now, this, when you're signed into Family Search, you see this family history activities in the upper right corner here. Check them out. And here's Compare a Face, which is that one. And here we go. I'm going to click on my picture. And then I'll use this comparison. And that's my mother. And if you scroll down, you can see mother. I don't know whether it's showing that on the screen, but it shows mother.
Yes, it is.
Then I go over, this is my grandfather and my great-grandfather, but on my father's side. My great-grandmother on my mother's side. My great-grandmother on my father's side. My great-great-grandfather. My grandmother. My father. My grandfather. My second great-grandmother, my great-grandfather, another grandmother, another great-grandfather, and another great-great-grandmother. That's where it is. Now, you see how you have to have all those pictures in there to be able to see the comparison. Now, one other fun, whoops, I hit the wrong button there.
Excuse me, what did that tell us?
Well, that tells you how much you look like your different ancestors. I look 73% like my mother.
I guess that's why mine didn't work.
Oh.
You're adopted.
No, I was glad I didn't look like this.
Me. If you click in the All About Me over here, Lynell Bennett, how many people share your names? Okay. Would you believe there are 3,724 people with Lynell? 340 in California, 496 in Texas. And I think that's kind of fun and cool. I have 5 people in Maine, bless their hearts. Now, if I go to Bennett, there's only 745,460.
Does that include all 3 names?
That what?
First, middle, and last?
Just the Bennett.
Each name, I think.
Now, if I come down here, this is my son. There are that many people with the name Matthew, that many people with the name Allen, and that many people with the name Moss, and where they live in the U.S. 20,000 in Texas. So I find that fun. Now I'm going to go back here. For in-home activities, if you want to have fun with your kids, there's All About Me, my voice, my experiences, keep a journal, where I'm from, my name, time capsule questions, and all of these things that you can do for yourself and record for your grandchildren, and play with your kids with this. So there's just a lot of fun family activities in this little area up here. And this was just introduced in February at the Roots Tech conference. So that's found. You have to sign in before it will appear. But it's in that top corner right there.
You want to say a quick word about getting yourself an account on Family Search?
Okay, yes, right here, you go to Help, and you, no, you don't. I'm signed in. I've got to sign out for you to be able to see it. Sign in and free account right there. And it wants your name, last name, and I would be happy to show you what the next screen looks like, but I just simply, if I sign in, I can't click to the next screen without filling in this portion of it. Now, if you want to get started in the family tree, you need to have an account, but then you can go right here and fill in, get started, fill in an online version, which puts you in there. And let me tell you, I cannot see, if I didn't add my son, I couldn't see his information. If they're over 18 and living, you have to put the information in for you to be able to see it. They, however, can see you. So, but I cannot see my cousins because they're living. The living ones I can't see, the dead ones I can. That it is extremely private, where you are there, and if you're dead, then you're open to the world, but if you're living, nobody can find you.
Unless they have it in there.
Unless they have added the information in.
Right. But if it says private, you're not going to see it.
You're not going to see it. Right.
When you were talking about the facial recognition,
Right.
I guess that's probably a development of artificial intelligence that many programs are utilizing now. If you have a photograph, an old photograph, and you have no idea who they are, can you scan it in, and will it try to match it?
No, it will not.
Not yet.
Not yet. I think that that's held for governmental entities to do. I sure would like them to identify some of the pictures I've got. That
Oh,
are very old.
I've got a lot, but I have no idea who they are.
Yeah, I've got my uncle gave me a box of pictures, but he didn't tell me who everybody was, and heavens, he didn't write on the back of them.
At one time, we had someone who gave a program about photographic recognition. And they were talking about that there are some studios that are still in existence that was the people who did the photographs, portraits and such as that back in the early 1900s, late 1800s, and they still have records.
Oh, that'd be lovely.
And so you have to get in touch with the studio, and they may have records of it. I don't remember who that was. Do you remember who that was, Debbie, that did that program? It's been a while.
Well,
And probably and the
did
kids.
the last one we had.
Yeah, and
But I didn't know about studios that still have records.
Yeah.
You can find, a lot of times you can find records of when studios were in existence, and that helps you narrow the time range when that picture was taken in that place, and then that may lead you to a relative's name, because if you know the people that lived in that time, in that place, that were about the age of the person in the picture.
some photographs, portraits and such, on the back, it will have a stamp of the studio that did the portrait or the photograph. And I did look up one of the names, and it popped up that they were still in existence in St. Louis. But I didn't get in touch with them at that time. I just didn't have the time to do it. But I guess I really ought to see if I can find.
Yeah, you ought to, because who knows if they have records.
Yeah,
They,
especially if it's still in the family ownership.
right, if somebody had just found out the name.
Yeah, yeah.
I have a neighbor who owns the Dallas and Fort Worth Getting Studio. The studio actually started in the 1920s in Houston, and they do have archives of their portraits and who they are going back to the 1920s. But the limitation is that it was an expensive studio in general, and more than likely it would have been somebody with a little more money than the average person. But they do have that.
Yeah, that was Getty's name.
The one that used to be associated with me.
Neiman Marcus. Yeah.
But that was actually later in their history, and now they're not anymore.
Now, I have the Family History Library website in the Wiki up online. And if you scroll down just a little bit, you can see classes and online webinars. And then you can see the schedules down here. There's April, May, and June. And we'll click June since we're out of May. And you can see what they have available. And there's the Family Search Research Wiki right there.
YouTube has a number of lectures also.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, there are two different lectures, part 1 and part 2 from Ancestry.com that Ancestry.com has put on there explaining I did my DNA, I got the results back, now what do I do with it?
Okay, let me take you to one other website here. I'm gonna I'll go back here and leave that one. And I'll go down to Roots Tech. And if you scroll down, Donnie Osmond coming next year.
Yeah.
Oh, no, to London, about Roots Tech. A few past sessions of Roots Tech. Now, these are this year's the keynote sessions, the Roots Tech sessions, And you will notice that several of those are DNA. And there's lots of there. Let me back out. That's 2019. There's 2018, 2017, 16, and 15. That there's lots of DNA sessions in there. And there's lots of other sessions. In the one in 2018, I like How Do I Search on Family Search. And this one right here, Finding Elusive Records at FamilySearch.org. Robert Kerr was in charge of all of the indexing on Family Search. And he can tell you how to search Family Search very well. So that's just another thing that is available for you to see. Source citations, FamilySearch.org. I don't know. Fred has had one in 2016 he's wanting me to tell you about. Do you reckon? Yeah, is that you? No. I can't either. There you are. Closing death record, silver bullet or dead end.
Same name tag, different time.
So, any more questions? Then I guess you got one.
You mentioned, or in the list information, something was said, and I'm having hearing problems, so I haven't heard a lot of the discussion. You may have already been discussing about finding individuals who are specialists in a certain county and how to contact them. Can you do that through Family Search Wiki?
No, you're getting into paid, and you need to contact the Association of Professional Genealogists to get specialists in certain counties.
But sometimes on Wiki, you can, they list the local genealogical society and the local historical society. You can start there with them.
Yes. Good idea.
Now, some of them are not listed as the Genealogical Society, but they are listed as the local historical society, like the county society, and a lot of those have changed because the counties have changed.
It'll list the libraries too, and
Yes.
librarians are a good person to always ask.
Some of them are really good, and then there are others. But yes, that's a good place to go.
Lynell, one last thing. By my calculation, 2022 should be, we're hoping the 1950 census. Do you have any advanced knowledge, anything?
It is always a 72-year delay. So I'm thinking 2022 will be the 1950 census also.
Has Family Search gotten any notice, or are they going to have that?
That won't.
The race system between Ancestry and all those different groups to who was going to get an index first.
Well, yeah, and actually Ancestry and Family Search work together on indexing.
Yeah.
And it was, the 40 was done in 3-4 months.
Yeah, under what they thought.
And I think 50, they thought it was going to take a lot longer. But there was one youth group in Utah that got together, and they had their goal of 10,000 names for the day. They hit 10,000 by noon. I don't know how many they kept going with, but yeah.
Handwriting better too.
No, I asked some people at NARA about the census report, and they said that it will be 2022.
It is. I'm looking at my watch at 7:35, and I think we're done. Are we not?
Thank you so much.
Thank you.